যদি তোরে ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে।
আমাকে নির্দেশ দিল কাপড় চোপড় খুলে ফেলতে।
দেখি পিছের দিক থেকে দুইজনে মেয়ে ডাবা তুলে একটা গাছ আছিল তার সাথে বাড়ি দিল।
তাহলে এত দুঃখ কত কাহিনী আবা।
I am Leesa Gazi. I grew up listening to my father telling stories about a forgotten genocide. When I turned 17, my father, who was a freedom fighter, told me that he had witnessed hundreds of raped women and girls standing back to back on a convoy of trucks, like sacrificial animals. This image of Birangona women stayed with me forever.
এইভাবে করে বাঁধবে, মানে এই চোখকে গামছা বাঁধ দিবে, দিয়ে এইভাবে করে রাখবে, রাখে এনে এই যে এতটুকু করে ঘাড়া খুঁজবে, ঘাড়া খুঁজে এইভাবে করে দিবে, দিয়ে এইখানে গুলি মারবে। খুলিয়াটি গিয়ে তো লালে লাল হয়ে গেল।
Birangona means brave woman. I wanted to meet them, but I wanted to know them as they are and beyond the term Birangona.
কি বিচার করবে না বিচার করবে আল্লাহ করবে, মানুষের বিচার চাই না।
থাক, দিনে ঠোকাতে হবে, খাতাতে হবে, নিন্দাতে হবে।
আরো খেলার বাকি আমার রয়ে গেছে, আমি আরো খেলবো।
I see their faces now. I could have been one of them. This is the story of some of these women.
LeesaGazi, Rising Silence is a harrowing story and one that so few people know about. Was that the reason why you wanted to pursue this project?
In 2010, when I finally, get to meet them, I don't know why I took, a small camera crew with me and filmed their accounts with their permission, of course, and I was actually sitting with that footage with me, and then the inevitable happened. One of the women we met there died, and that shook me profusely. I realized that when Birangona woman dies, her story dies with her, and that realization made me to do something about it.
Can you tell me some of the anecdotes, some of the things that they told you about what happened to them that has stayed with you until today, until this day?
There are so many. I actually met some 80 plus Birangona women, and I have spoken with them, spent time with them. And there are so many stories that will never leave me. This woman, this Birangona woman, her name is Rajubala, she died. She said that, because of me, my grandchildren are teased. They are taunted, and they come home crying. And my daughter and her daughter used to be, called all sorts of names. You are a bastard child, you are this, you are that, your mom was a whore, that kind of thing. And one day she stood up, and then she was killed.
Tell me a little bit more about exactly how you got to know them and the things that you did together.
During one shoot that we were shooting Three Sisters, and actually there were 4 sisters, and these 4 sisters were kept imprisoned in a rape camp. And after the war, right after the war, the youngest sister, she died because of internal hemorrhage. So these 3 sisters actually buried her, but they couldn't organize a ceremony, praying ceremony, which is Milad. I'm sure you know about it. So they couldn't arrange because nobody would come and join them praying for their sisters. So when we were filming them, one of the sisters said that we would like to have a milad for Budhi, for the youngest sister. And we said, absolutely. We arranged it, and with their permission, we were filming that. But at the end of the milad, one of the sisters, Malika Appa, she felt unbearable. You know, she couldn't take it anymore, and she fainted. And you know, and we ran towards them. We fetched water and that kind of thing. And my crew, director of photography and the second camera, they stopped the filming straight away. They didn't wait for me to say cut, because it was very, very clear about, in our minds, that there's no way we can, you know, compromise the dignity of these incredible women.
What happened to so many of these women? There's nothing in the Bangladeshi history books about it.
At the time, no, when I was growing up. Right after 1975, when Bangabandhu was assassinated with his entire family, right after that, overnight, these women, I mean the Birangona women who were living in, you know, women's centers, rehabilitation centers at the time, were thrown out on streets overnight, and all documents were burned down. So there's very little documents about these women in our country right now. That's why I felt so desperate to hang on to some of their stories.
It's also how the community reacted. Would you not agree?
Absolutely, because you know the stigma and collective shame attached to rape was so appalling that it wasn't spoken of in public at all. Some of them who wanted to talk about it, they were shunned, ostracized, and ultimately almost forgotten. All their lives, they received, you know, they received hatred. They received all sorts, you know, stigma towards them, and they did not want to have the same kind of reception from me.
Do you think they'd lost the ability to trust again?
No, that's the amazing thing. No. They haven't lost the ability to trust. They haven't lost the ability to love. Their power of love and compassion is honorable. We wanted to touch the person who behind this term Birangona. You know, we want to know them on their own terms, beyond any labels or any statistics. Because when you think about 200 to 400,000 women and girls were systematically raped and tortured, do you see any face? I didn't. I couldn't. And that used to bother me, that I want to know the face behind this numbers and this title. So to touch, to know that person, you have to be, you know, they have to trust you. They have to feel that you are their friends.
It must still have been an incredibly emotionally difficult experience for you to have interacted with them and heard their stories. How did it affect you emotionally?
It affected me hugely. We actually filmed in two phases. In one phase, we filmed for 37 days. We were on the road for 37 days. And then the second phase, we went to Kolkata in India to do another story for six days. While we were doing that, you know, while we were on the road, that time, I think that completely changed me as a person, and I, you know, to be able to spend times with these women, I actually came to know about myself, you know, better. I know that what I'm capable of as a woman and what should be my priority. And these things, you know, are for me life lessons. We were filming in a kind of a forest kind of setup, you know, and this long trees, and it's just behind one of the survivors' house, and her name is Shujapa. She also died, and we were talking, and then suddenly she said, I can see them coming. Can you see them coming? I can still see them coming. I cannot tell you what that felt. You know,
She was referring to the Pakistani
Army. But you got,
So she was having.
so she has that recurring,
Yeah.
you know,
Vision
that is
of them approaching.
of them approaching. And then I thought, I'm so sorry, I get really emotional sometimes. Then I was thinking that to live with this all your life, I mean, how can you cope? How did they cope? You know, that was my number one question to them, that how did you cope? You know, they used to seek each other. They used to find each other. And I was like, how did you find? How did you know that that person is also a survivor? And she said, I don't know. Something would give away and we would know.
Nearly 50 years on, not a single person has been taken to court over this, prosecuted over this.
No, no. If you ask me about the principal perpetrators, which are the Pakistani Army, no.
But recently, these survivors are receiving some kind of financial assistance from the government now, and also some kind of psychological and social support as well. So things have improved in that sense. Can you just tell me a little bit about that?
I mean, things have hugely improved. I mean, in 2015, they have been given the status of freedom fighters, and they, the whole process started at the time in 2015 to give them a monthly stipend. But it is a long process. They have to be registered first to be able to attend those facilities. So it's ongoing, and many Birangona women are under this program, but not enough.
Oh, best of luck to you, Leesa Gazi. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.